Hello students. In this video I am going to start with our last chapter of human physiology, that's the chemical coordination and integration. Okay, so as there is no much board work in this chapter, so I am not using the board. Some basic theory part of this chapter I am going to share with you. Chemical coordination and integration, as we have already discussed in our last chapter, the two kinds of coordination, okay, that occur in our body, and that is how all the functioning of our body that is controlled and coordinated. Okay, one is the nervous control, one is the chemical control. Okay, this chemical control is actually deals with the hormones. This chemical means basically we are actually talking about hormones, how hormones control and coordinate and regulate the different functioning of our body. This is the chapter all about this. So when we are talking about hormones or the chemical coordination, the first thing comes in mind is the endocrine glands. Okay, two types of glands are there in our body, as we know, endocrine gland and exocrine gland. Okay, now this exocrine gland, which are like sweat gland in our body, sebaceous gland in our body, salivary glands in our body. So all these glands we secrete different body fluids, including enzymes. Okay, so and they secrete, okay, through a duct, DUCT duct is a tube like structure, okay, through which they secrete. Whereas endocrine glands, which are only secrete hormones, the chemical hormones, and they are ductless. Okay, endocrine glands do not have any ducts. They directly secrete the hormones in the blood or in the lymph or in the venous blood. Okay, and the hormone through this fluid reach to the target organ or target tissue, whatever it is. Okay, so the hormones, from here now I am directly jumping into the different glands, endocrine glands of our body. So first and foremost we are going to talk about the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part of our forebrain. It is present in the third ventricle of the brain. Okay, and it is the floor of the white matter. Okay, where the hypothalamus is located, very near to the pituitary gland, because it has a very what to say, important functional relationship. Now only will come to know about this. This hypothalamus hormones are known as hypothalamic hormones. Okay, and basically this hormone control the functioning of the pituitary gland. Okay, so some hormones helps the pituitary gland to stimulate, to release some hormones, whereas there are some hypothalamic hormones which inhibits the pituitary gland to release some hormones. Okay, two types of controlling, regulating function. Now there are various hormones, so that's why these hypothalamic hormones categorized into two types: releasing hormone and inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone that trigger or stimulate the gland to release hormone, whereas inhibit hormone which inhibits the secretion from the gland. Okay, there are some hormones, I am naming those. One is TRH, that is called, or TSHRH, known as the thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone. It means what? That a hormone is released, a hypothalamic hormone released from the hypothalamus, goes to the pituitary gland. Okay, it stimulates the gland to release thyroid stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland. So the hormone which stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to release thyroid stimulating hormone, known as thyroid stimulating hormone releasing hormone. Okay, Then there are adrenocorticotropic hormone, there is follicular stimulating hormone releasing hormone. Okay, now follicular stimulating hormone releasing hormone means this hypothalamic hormone goes and stimulates the pituitary gland to release FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. Then luteinizing hormone releasing hormone. Okay, then growth hormone releasing hormone or growth hormone releasing factor, okay, which is also known as somatotropin releasing hormone. Then growth hormone release inhibiting hormone means the hormone that inhibits the secretion of growth hormone from the pituitary gland. Prolactin releasing hormone, prolactin release inhibitory hormone. So it means you understand the names I am mentioning here, the hypothalamic hormones which basically stimulate from the hypothalamus goes to the pituitary gland, and two ways they function. Okay, one way to stimulate the gland to release hormone, another way to inhibit the gland to release hormone. Understood? This is how hypothalamus hormone control the pituitary gland secretions. Okay, then there are melanocyte stimulating hormone releasing hormone, melanocyte stimulating hormone inhibitory hormone. So both either stimulatory hormone or inhibitory hormone, two ways they function. Okay, so now let's look at the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is ectodermal in origin. Okay, ectodermal in origin, whereas hypothalamus is also ectodermal in origin. Ectodermal means we know that embryo which has three germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So it is the ectoderm from which the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, all these glands developed. If you look at the structure, it's a red grey pear shaped structure, pituitary gland, which has three lobes. The lobes are there in your syllabus that you have to study. Three lobes are there in the pituitary gland. Structural lobes. Okay, anterior lobe, intermediate lobe and posterior lobe. Three lobes are there. Anterior lobe, which is also known as pars anterior, PARS, pars anterior. The intermediate lobe is known as the pars anterior lobe, which is also known as, another name is the adenohypophysis. Means the anterior lobe also known as pars anterior or adenohypophysis. The intermediate lobe is known as pars intermedia, whereas the posterior lobe is known as pars nervosa. Okay, also this is known as neurohypophysis. Okay, anterior lobe adenohypophysis, whereas the posterior lobe is neurohypophysis. Pars anterior, pars intermedia, pars nervosa, three lobes. Now these lobes, they are involved in secretions of different hormones. Anterior lobe, if we look into anterior lobe of the pituitary gland, all the hormones as we have mentioned till now is somatotropin hormone released. Okay, this is known as the growth hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. ACTH, adrenocorticotropin releasing hormone. Then gonadotropins are what? FSH, follicular stimulating hormone. LH, luteinizing hormone. Then all these prolactin hormone. Okay, all these hormones, okay, which are secreted from the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Now their functions also you can understand. Thyroid stimulating hormone, which stimulate the thyroid gland to release hormone. Whatever the hormones release thyroid gland, that we will see. Then this one, luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone have functions in the in rupturing the Graafian follicle. I mean during the process of ovulation, LH have important role to play. FSH helps in the formation of the egg cell in the females. Okay, so all these are different hormones. Growth hormones helps in growth and development. Okay, so like they have different specific functions. Intermediate lobe basically which are only secrete one hormone, that is the melanocyte stimulating hormone. It secretes the melanocytes, the cells which release melanin pigment, which helps in darkening the skin. Okay, and the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland, which also found in the floor of the fourth ventricle of the brain, and it secretes hormone like ADH and oxytocin, the most important two hormones secreted by the posterior lobe. ADH and oxytocin. What is ADH? ADH is antidiuretic hormone, also known as vasopressin. Okay, so this hormone acts on the kidneys. Okay, from the DCT part, distal convoluted tubule, from that part of the nephron, ADH helps in reabsorption. Okay, reabsorption of water. Okay, so that it controls the concentration of the urine there, and also maintains the water content in the body by reabsorbing water from the DCT. So ADH plays very important role here. Okay, next, oxytocin, which is also known as pitocin. This is also play very important role. This oxytocin, during the delivery of the baby, it helps in the uterine muscle contraction. Okay, which helps in parturition process. Another way we can say oxytocin also helps in the production of the milk after delivery of the baby. And next, in males it helps in the transport, sperm transport and the ejaculation. Okay, they are the hormones of the oxytocin. So very important role played by this oxytocin hormone. Okay, so this is all about the pituitary gland. Now hyposecretion, hypersecretion of these hormones are important, like somatotropin hormone, growth hormone. Hypersecretion of this hormone, this leads to what? Gigantism, excess growth, overgrowth in height. Hyposecretion of GH, growth hormone, leads to the dwarfism. So these are the different impacts of various you can say the hormones there. Hypersecretion of GH also leads to the acromegaly. Okay, so different hyposecretion and hypersecretion impacts are there, means is a very less content there in your syllabus, so just need to know one or two impacts of hypo and hypersecretion of various hormones, that's it. Okay, so from next is gland is the thyroid gland, that we will be discussing on our next topic. Okay, till now I have covered the pituitary gland. Hope it will help you to understand. This chapter is no conceptual, it's a fact based chapter. You just need to remember the things. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video.